Hello there, this is Kyle Groves with ATG, here for another Tech Tuesday. Can you tell me what is wrong with this survey? I know that there's codes that were fat-fingered in here, but then again, I created the dataset. Today, we're going to talk about how we can use Miscode figure styles and point styles in our survey database to help us quickly and easily identify mistakes. And how this is going to work, I'll show you before I actually walk you through the steps, is we're going to simply insert this data set into my drawing, and we will see a few things. First of all, I've got this purple zigzag line going around these points. Now, if I had zoomed in closer over here, I could tell that point 412 is shooting edge of concrete, and point 292 and the rest of this line series are shooting a code EIC. Well, looks like either somebody got confused or they had the wrong fat finger the whole time. Because this is creating a survey figure for me, I've already got that Miscode survey figure style set up, but what about our survey Miscode for our ground shots? Now, again, I know that this is a Miscode across the board because at my firm, we use GS, not just regular G. So again, someone was either feeling lazy or looking at the wrong code sheet that day. But these aren't immediately obvious to me as miscodes. So what we need to do here is we actually have to have a point group predefined inside of our template called Miscode. If I go and I put that Miscode up at the top, and then update all of my points, my point groups in my drawing, now I can see these nice pink X's telling me that my drawing has a miscode. So by implementing a survey figure style and a survey point style that are set up to say Miscode and present these, I chose purple. One, it's my favorite AutoCAD color, but two, it's pretty distinct in most templates. We can give our field or office staff really easy and quick ways to identify that some of these shots came in wrong and coach them through where to go look for that first. Now that I've shown you how this can work, let's go back to figuring out how to set this all up. Now, as we all know, some of our survey settings live outside of the template drawing, and they live in the survey user settings. But most of this is going to be going on within our template. So if we go over to my survey template, I can go into my settings, and I can create a point style that is called Miscode. This is nothing fancy here. It's simply my AutoCAD or my Civil 3D custom marker with the X, and I've made the scale 2 inches. Most of my others are at around 0.1. So that's where the big comes from. And then if you go to the Display tab, you can then either find a layer to assign this to or just leave it on 0. But the layer of this is going to make sure that we're displaying that big, bright color, and a continuous line type is perfectly fine. Once that point style is set up, we're going to go into our prospector, and we're going to define and create that point group Miscode. Now, what this is relying on is our description key set. So under my settings point description key sets, this is saying anytime I import something that has what I was looking for, the code EOC, well, give it a style, assign it to a layer, and so on and so forth. But all of the points that come into our drawing that don't fit into this description key set, well, they just get a command setting based off of our drawing settings, our template settings, or we can use point groups to tell those how to behave. And the specific properties we need in this point group are to assign those Miscode styles. I've just got the Miscode marker as well as the Miscode label style. Again, it's very simple. I just copied my point elevation description and rename that and change that color again to magenta or whatever big bright color I want my template to report to me. I have to include all of my points, but I'm not going to set an override for either the style or the point style. And that's because this point group is going to say, hey, if you've already been assigned a style by the description key set, I don't care about you. I'm going to be operating on the points that didn't have any style set to them at all. That's why we put this up at the top. The other thing that we need to set inside our template is the survey figure style. So it's down toward the bottom, And it's easy to forget about this because there are a lot of those other settings that are handled in the survey user settings, not necessarily our template. But under the figure style, we have to make sure that this miscode style exists, or that we create one. And again, there's nothing fancy here. I simply came over to my display tab. My lines are going on magenta. And then also I prefer to use a zigzag line, maybe a tracks line, just something that's going to give that extra visual pop that says, hey, something's not right here. And once this style exists inside your template, then you can go into your survey settings tab, and under your survey user settings, you will want to find figure defaults. And once you have your figure defaults open, this is where you can go to define that miscode style. But again, if it doesn't exist in your template, you won't find it in this list. As always, the best practice for making template improvements is to create your styles, or what you think those styles need to be, inside your template. Save it, and then create a new drawing based off of that template in order to test. This concludes today's Tech Tuesday. Thanks for all your time and attention, and happy survey processing.
Call for Proposals is now open for Midwest University 2020. If you have technical knowledge in the AEC industry and are interested in presenting at the largest AEC conference in the Midwest United States, please consider clicking this link to submit your class or visit us at www.midwest-u.com. Call for Proposals will officially close at 5 p.m. Central Time on Friday, August 23, 2019.